So often we hear high-performing athletes talk about being in the zone, or just being so focused on the task at hand. But what actually is this, and how do we get there? I'm Hannah Goodham-Clark.
I'm Matt Shaw.
And this is the Sports Psychologist Breakdown.
So what is that idea of being in the zone or just totally focused on the task at hand? Well, that's actually something we call being in a flow state. Now, there's loads of definitions of being in a flow state, but essentially all it is being totally absorbed in the task at hand, where it seems like all of those other thoughts just disappear away.
So what does flow actually feel like? Well, you're in a state of flow when you're enjoying performing. You're completely focused, you're in control, your movements become automatic, and you lose complete track of time.
So if that's what being in a flow state feels like, well, what's actually happening in our brains? Now, when we are in a flow state, our prefrontal cortex, which is involved with thinking and with planning, tends to go quiet or is less active. Which means that other areas of our brain that can be associated with skill execution, for example, are more active. And that means our movements are more automatic as opposed to thought about or worried about.
So if that's what it is, what it feels like, and what happens, how do we actually achieve it?
One way to get into a flow state is to make sure that we have complete focus and a quiet mind. So making sure we're focused only on the task at hand. And one easy way to do this is just to remove the distractions from our environment that are unhelpful. Another way for us to make sure that we can get into a flow state is to make sure that our level of challenge is just about right. Because if we have too much challenge and the task is too challenging for us, then we can be frustrated or actually nervous to go and compete. Whereas if the challenge is too low, then we could just be bored or not very motivated. So getting that challenge just right is really important.
So you've also got to be comfortable challenging yourself and also appraise your skills correctly. So what we mean here is match your skills correctly to the task at hand.
Another way to get into a flow state is to actually set really clear goals about what it is that you're trying to achieve. And the last way that actually sometimes people don't really talk about is just to make sure that you choose something that you actually enjoy. Because often when people do end up in flow states, it's because they're really enjoying what they're doing as well.
So that's what flow is, what it feels like, and how to achieve it.
And if you like that video, then make sure you give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more Sports Psychologist breakdowns.